a 1 in the chat. Let me see our newbies. Let me see our newbies. Never can tell we might have packages for our newbies. Okay, so if today is the very first time of you joining to analytics session, let me see a 1 in the chat. So if you've been here before, let me see a 2 in the chat. Okay, I have Lydia, iPhone, Desmond. Okay. Okay. So beautiful. We have a lot of newcomers. All right, guys. Drum rolls. So newcomers, welcome. This is analytics, right? Don't worry. In a few minutes, you are going to know about analytics and what we do. But for now, since you are a newcomer, just look by your left. You are going to see an usher standing just there to direct you to where our newcomers sit. Please follow the usher and don't worry. We have malt and meat pie to keep you busy. Not to worry, okay? All right, that's by the way. So welcome today. My name is Edidi Onwudo, and I will be your host for this evening. I'm not going to be doing this alone. I'm going to be doing it with another amazing person in the Analytics team. Okay, but before we start, let me know where you are joining us from. So I'll just take a few persons. So your name and where you are joining us from. Right. So the thing is, since this is like a Zoom meeting, we are going to be having people joining from several places, and that's like one of the advantages of having a call like this, because they're going to be networking with a lot of persons. Okay, so let me see in the chat your name and where you are joining us from. So I'm going to start. My name is Edidi Onwudo, and I'm joining us from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, and I would love to know where you are joining us from. Okay, Chinedu, newcomer. Okay, welcome, Chinedu. Please, I hope you didn't miss the usher that's standing just by the left. Ensure that you follow him and get your package as a newcomer, please. I won't want you to miss that. Okay, so we have AY from Canada. Welcome, AY. So let's keep it coming. I just only one person telling us where they're joining us from. Okay, so please, Adeshowa. Okay, so we have a lot of persons joining us from different locations. Guys, sorry about that break in transmission. Please, guys, let me know you can hear me and you can see my screen. Please, guys, I'm waiting for a response. Let me check the chat box. All right. Thank you.
I can hear you. I'm joining from Lagos.
All right. You see, thank you very much. Okay, so we have a lot of persons joining us from different places. I've seen Nelson from Port Harcourt, Joseph from Kogi State. All right. So we are just going to start. So guys, you can see that we have people joining us from different places. And the fun thing about this kind of session is that your location is not a barrier, right? Okay, so despite wherever you're joining us from, right, it's not really a barrier. You can always join from everywhere and anywhere, and you can always network. Okay, so we are just going to start. Briefly, we're just going to look at what analytics is and what we do. Okay, so we're at analytics, and a couple of you, I know you must have seen us somewhere, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Twitter, that's X Space, whether it's on your Instagram. Okay, so now you might be wondering what do these guys do? Who are they? right? Okay, so we are Tenalytics, and Tenalytics is actually an education technology company, right? And our main aim is to help the people of the Black community to learn premium tech skills, lowering the entry barrier into tech, right? So the thing is, most times people feel Africans, do they really know how to do these things? Or basically, it's even Africans that try to limit themselves. I think this thing is for the white persons. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do it. But trust me, Africans, we are very, very smart persons, right? By the time we determine to do a thing, we always do it. Okay, so that is why Analytics is here to actually tell the Africans and the Black community that we can actually get into this particular space, irrespective of the fact that we are Blacks, but yeah, we are smart. So the main aim that Analytics has really taken upon themselves is to help the Africans and Black communities get into this tech space with ease, right? Without stress. That is what Analytics is actually looking at. And what do we offer? We offer different courses, right? Different programs in this tech space, right? From the data analytics to business analytics, data engineering, data science, which is what we are going to be looking at today, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum, cybersecurity, and AI engineering, right? And the good thing about analytics is that we have facilitators that are top professionals, right? They are working from different sectors in this tech industry. So now they are going to be bringing in their experiences, right, to teach our participants, to make them know that, oh, in this tech eco space, you can actually do it, right? And then they're going to be sharing their experiences with you. They're going to be teaching you based on what they know. So this one now is not about we heard. It's about what they have experienced and then what they are actually doing. So you are going to be getting first class experience, right? So that's literally what Tenalytics does, right? And so let's just move on. So the next thing, let's meet our founders. So one way or the other, I know you might have seen Adeza Suleiman online or Efemina Ipro. Okay, so Adeza Suleiman is the founder of Tenalytics. Okay, he's a data analyst expert, data science consultant, data analyst, business performer, and then he has worked in several industries, right? And then he has close to a decade experience in data analysis and management consulting. He has worked in sports, professional services, and the rest. And the good thing is that he has trained over 8,500 participants. So to show you that he actually has the experience, right? So it is because of those experience that he had that it was not like, oh, if we can actually do this, then we need to bring in more Black community persons, right, into this particular tech space so that we can help them as well. Okay, and then the next person you have is Efemina Ipro. Efemina Ipro is the co-founder of Tenalytics, data science contractor. He has worked in UK, US, and in Canada. He's also a business and data support lead. He has worked in post office in the UK. He's also a data analyst manager. Okay, and then he has a lot of experience. He has close to a decade experience in data science, spanning across different industries. Okay, so that's that for our founder and our co-founder. Now let's meet the facilitators for today. Okay, so I think I did a brief introduction about myself earlier. So I am Edidi Omudo, the growth internship lead in Tenalytics. I'm also a data science expert. I have more than 5 years experience in this particular tech industry, and then I've worked on several projects. Okay, I've worked on several projects spanning across different sectors, right, from the HR to supply chain to e-commerce and the rest of them. And then I've trained over 2,000 participants. Okay, and the good thing about it is that I was not born with data science. Trust me, I wasn't born with it. Okay, I have a first degree in soil science, which has totally nothing to do with data science. Okay, so if I was able to transition into this tech space, irrespective of the background I had in my first degree, trust me, you can actually do it. Okay, so I'm not going to be in a meeting alone. I'm with my colleague, another amazing professional, Promise. So Promise is a senior data assistant in Tenalytics. He's a data science expert. He has also worked as a data scientist in UK firms. Trust, he's in Nigeria, right? But he works remotely to show you that there is no limit in this eco space, right? It's a global thing, it's a global talent. So you can stay wherever you are and work, just as Promise. Promise has over 5 years of experience in developing machine learning solutions across diverse domains, including traditional data science, machine learning operations, natural language processing, and computer vision. Okay, so that's that for the facilitators. Trust me, you are going to be having a lot of experience from here. You're going to be learning a lot. Okay, so what I want us to do is to stay focused, right? And not to worry, even if you miss any part, the session is going to be recorded, right? But for you to get access to the recordings, you have to fill the attendance form that my colleagues are dropping on the chat. Okay, so fill it so that by the time you stay to the end of the meeting, right, you're going to get a link to the recording, as well as this slide I am using and the materials that we are going to be using for this session. So please, guys, I want us to keep our fingers crossed, okay, and then try as much as you can to follow. And before we leave today, we are going to take your questions. So in between, if you have questions, you can drop it in the chat, or you can use the raise hand icon. At the end of the training, we are going to take your questions. Okay, so I know we might have a lot already in mind, but not to worry. And like we said earlier, this is a free session, right? So we are here to teach you how to use Python, okay, to do your data visualizations. If you don't have any knowledge about it, do not worry. That is why we are here, right? So Promise is going to help you to see Python in a very simple way. So that knowledge of Python is a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult, or what is even Python? Not to worry. This session is going to help you throw more light on that. Okay, so let's briefly look at what we are going to be doing today. Okay, in this session, the first thing is going to be a practical session, right? That's the first thing we are going to do, which is showing you how to build charts and visuals using Python libraries. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the pathway to becoming a data scientist and securing a job. I know a lot of you must already be having it in your mind. Okay, so you guys are talking about data science. How do I start? Not to worry. We are going to cover that in this session. The next thing we're going to look at is remote, full-time, and relocation opportunities. So you heard me mentioning you can stay wherever you are and then work just as promised, and many other persons in this ecotech. We are going to be showing you that as well. The next thing we're going to look at is the analytics growth internship project. So those ones that came early, you might have seen the little clip I played, and then you might have heard something about the internship. So not to worry, we are going to throw more light on that in this session. And the last but not the least is our special offer. Okay, so no matter what happened, do not leave the session until you get to hear this special offer which we have for you. Okay, so keep your fingers crossed and ensure that you pay attention. Like I said earlier, if you miss anything, do not worry. The recording is going to be available for you to go through and then practice. Okay, so we usually have two different sets of persons in a session like this. Those persons that want to practice alone, and those persons that just want to listen and then practice later. Okay, whatever category that you are, ensure that you do not miss anything. And then don't worry, even if you miss along the line, the recording will be available to you. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to be calling on my colleague to handle the first session, which is the practical aspect of it. Hello, Promise, or Precious rather. Hello, Precious. Good evening. Confirm you can hear me. Hello, Precious.
Hello, Edijo. Could you spotlight yourself and turn off Chiloba's camera, please? But that makes sense, right? Yes.
Okay.
So let's go up. Let's go back up. Right. So you need to reflect the fact that as you're collecting income on these properties, right, you're going to pay mortgage, and the goal of it is at least more the mortgage should be less than the revenue they are collecting. That's the goal. So you also see that. Then our renovation. Renovation is like Lagos is renovating every year. Well, that's why it's not that the innovation. The first year for the three properties, you are innovating the entire.
Hello, Edidion. Could you make me the calls, please?
But in the second year, just in case there is any renovation amongst the three properties, 18,000 is just budgeted. It's not same as the actual. Then in the third year, when you acquire two more, for the five properties, is that £5,000 is budgeted. Maintenance, during maintenance, renovation is that you are stripping the kitchen there, you are renovating the kitchen, you are renovating.
Hi everyone, can we all hear me?
Yes, Pressure, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, Eddie John. Oh, all right. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Overall, happy to be here today. Happy to be here. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you are looking forward to an exciting class today? Give me a thumbs up, guys. Give me a thumbs up. I'm not seeing any thumbs up. Just one person. Basil is excited. Who else? Who else? I can't see. Okay, VKH is excited. Who else? Your voice is. My voice is faint. Is my voice louder now? Is it better?
Yes, it's loud.
All right. So Eddie John, I think we should bring in our presentation now. Should I share my screen, or you want to go ahead and share yours? Hello, Eddie Dong, are you there? All right.
Precious, I can hear you and I can see you.
Yeah, I'm asking, do you want me to share my screen, or you want to go ahead and share yours?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So just grant me the permission to share screen, and I'll do that. Please grant me the permission to share my screen.
You can do that now. Please go ahead.
All right. So share this. Just give me a minute. Can you see my screen now? And everyone here see my screen? Come on, guys. I need us to be interactive today, okay? So I need to know, and I need to be sure we are all following. So I know we can't speak up, so you can give me a thumbs up to signify that you are following, and you can see my screen, you can see what's going on, okay? All right, so someone said yes on the comment section. Thank you very much. All right, so I will go on and begin the presentation, okay? So on today's session, we are going to be discussing visualization in Python, okay? Understanding visualization in Python. It's going to be a very simple one. I know this is a mixed audience. We have people that are not so familiar with Python, or are also basically not familiar with the entire text space, the data space, and all that. So we are going to take a very simple approach to teaching visualization with Python. Now this class, this session, okay, is going to be very interesting. I promise you that. But also is a snippet of what we provide at Analytics, okay? So I'm going to be showing you what you can do with Python as a data scientist or as a data analyst. And I'll demonstrate to everyone here how you can use Python as a very, very good tool to visualize your data and basically extract any form of insights you want from your data. Okay, so I believe that's why we are all here, and we are all looking forward to how we can do this. So I want to know, do we all have the data now for this particular session? Please give me a thumbs up if you all have the data or the link to the data. Everyone, give me a thumbs up if you all have the link to the data sets. No one is responding to me. Can you guys hear me? No link yet. Okay. All right. The link will be provided now. I think Eridion should just copy the link and put on the chat so that we can have it. Okay. And the rest are saying nothing here. Okay. All right. No, that's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all. The link will be provided to you while we are in this session, while we're in this particular session. So if you want to follow through, you can follow through and basically code alongside, or you can watch and learn what you can do with Python and see how we can use it as a tool for data visualization and insight to extract insight basically from our data sets. Okay, so without wasting much time, I'm going to show us how we can go ahead and perform these tasks. Now, I'm going to be using what is known as Google Colabs for these particular tasks. Now, you understand that the way you have Microsoft Word, if you want to, let's say you want to write an article or a project report, and you need a particular platform to do your write-up. That's where you use Microsoft Word for those specific tasks. That's also the way we have development environment for our Python. Okay, of course you get the recording, so don't worry about that. You're going to get the recording and everything that was used in the session. So like I was saying, we have what is called development environment. It's like the interface where you do your Python programming. Okay, now I want to show us a very simple one that everybody can access. You do not have to download it. You can access it simply by using your internet connection. And that development environment is called Google Colabs. Okay, it's on the internet. As long as you have an internet connection, you can access it. So, for instance, this is your Google Drive. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. I'm hoping, yes, we can all see it. Say this is my Google Drive. Everyone here that has a Google account has a Google Drive. Now, I created a folder on my Google Drive called Masterclass, and that folder is going to contain the solution for this particular class, okay? So this folder is going to contain the solution for everything we'll be doing today. Now, what do I want to do? I want to create an environment where I can implement Python. Do we all understand that? An environment where I can implement Python. So I'll be looking at the comment section. If there's anything you want to pass on to me, you can pass that on. So when I ask a question, do we understand? You can say yes, give me a thumbs up. I want to be sure we are following so I do not leave anyone behind, okay? So we have what we call development environment, and I want to create a development environment in this particular Google Drive. Now I'll show you, it's a very easy process, okay? It's a very easy process. So thank you, Friday, for letting me know you're following. So to create a Google Colab, all you have to do is click on new on your drive. See, you can create new folder, file, upload folder. You can do a lot of things. So click on more, and you will see Google Collaboratory, okay? Google Collaboratory. Now, is that easy to create a Google Colab? Okay, it is that easy. Okay, can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Someone is complaining that.
We can see your screen, Precious. Your screen is clear. Everything is good.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we are going to create a Google Colab environment now. So I'll click on new, and I'm clicking on more, and you see Google Collaboratory, okay? Now, when you click on this, it's going to open a new tab for you. It's going to open a new tab for you. And that environment it is going to open up, it is where you are going to be doing what? Writing your Python code, okay? So this is the environment that has been created by Google for us to write our Python code. Now I can come here and rename it as, let me say solution 1 or whatever I want to call it, and rename that environment so that whenever I come back to my drive, I will understand it, or I can call it Python visualization, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's all up to you. Now, as a data scientist, you are using Python as a tool, okay? Data scientists, we have a lot of tools we can actually use for our tasks. We are using Python as a tool. So before you use a tool, you ought to know the objective you want to achieve with that tool. So it's like, I can't just pick up and a nail and start thinking of, oh, what do I want to do with it? So I have to know what I want to use, achieve with those set of tools. And that is why we always come back to the objective of our case study or our project or whatever you want to do as a data scientist. So today, like I said, we're going to be doing data visualization. But first off, we need to understand the business we are working for, the business case. You need to understand the business you're working for. Someone that is working in a, let me say, a food business should have specific objectives they want to achieve. That will be much different for someone that is working in an entertainment company, okay? So we need to understand the business we're working for. Now, the good thing about being a data scientist is that you have, it's very versatile, okay? You can work in a large variety of, you have the opportunity to work in a variety of companies, okay? And we are going to be looking at the case study for this particular project we want to go on. Now, so we are coming here now to discuss the business we are working for. What is the business? What is the data? What do we want to achieve with this data? So that's what we are going to do first. Before we now decide, okay, how can I use this tool called Python to achieve these tasks? All right, good. So now the data is what the company we're working for is called what? Green Cardio. Now, what is Green Cardio? It is an online fitness retailer in search of a skilled data scientist to do what? Analyze their customer data. Now, let's say Green Cardio is a fitness, like I said here, is a fitness, online fitness retailer, and they are looking for data scientists to outsource their data problems to, and would draw out insights from their data. Okay, good. Now, what do they have? They have gathered what? Information including age, gender, annual income, spending score. Okay. Now, the objective now is to what? Derive valuable insights from the data to enhance what? Targeted marketing strategies, craft special offers, ultimately evaluate the overall customer experience. Okay. Now, what is all this plenty English all about? Green Cardio is a fitness, online fitness retailer. They want to look for a data scientist that would give them what? Value, that would actually come and give them solution. They have collected customer data. They are looking for someone now that will pick up this data and drag out insights from it. Now, it is very confusing when you look at the raw data, a large spreadsheet. You cannot use your eyes to extract this information. It is very confusing. Now, you cannot use common sense as well. You cannot say, oh, because this is a fitness, business, most of their customers should be men. Maybe men use the gym and all those fitness related stuff more often than women do. So you can't use all those raw common sense or trying to use your eyes to just extract this information. So that is why they are sourcing this particular problem towards a data scientist. Now we are coming in as a data scientist now to offer the solution, to profile the solution, or to extract insights from their data. Good. Now, what are our objectives now? To identify demographic segments for targeted marketing. Now, if they know the set of persons that patronizes them more, they will know how they should adjust their marketing strategies. Now, if they understand the customer or spending behavior, they'll be able to offer personalized offers. So you see, if we can get certain information from the data, this particular business would be able to make certain moves that will be in the favor of their business. So that is it. That's the summary of it. So we are coming here now not to do much with the data, but to extract insights. And now, for this particular class, we are going to be using data visualization to extract insights. Awesome. So let us move now to our Google Colabs. Now I have organized my Google my Google Drive, such that in this particular folder in my Google Drive, I have the data sets and I've created what's my Google Colab environment. Look at it now. See, right here, solution. Okay. So I have done that in my Google Drive. So when you are practicing this on your own, like I said, the recording will be provided to you. Everything for this class will be provided to you. When you're practicing on your own, make sure you organize it like this so that you don't get confused. Okay. Now let's go now to our Colab environment. Beautiful. So what do we do now? First off, say I don't have Google Colab in my drive. Yes, I showed us how we can create it. So let me just reiterate, okay? If you don't have it, come here, click on new, go to more, and you will see what's Google Collaboratory. Click on it and it will open this new tab for you. Okay, we all have it. As long as you have a Google Drive, you can create a Google Colab, okay? Good. So now the first thing I need to do is bring down my data set, which is this customer data. I need to bring it down to this point, my environment, so I can manipulate it, so I can use it to create visualizations, beautiful visualizations. Now, let me go ahead and do that. So to do that, you have to mount your drive on this environment. Mounting your drive means that you want to be able to access files in your drive through this Colab environment, okay? So do not get confused. You just want to be able to access whatever files that are saved in your drive through this environment. So to do that, come to this point where you have this folder symbol here, okay? This folder symbol, and click on it. And then you will see this particular symbol that says Mount Drive, okay? Mount Drive, very simple. Do not get confused, Mount Drive. And when you click on it, it will ask you connect to Google Drive. So, and it will automatically connect my Google Drive to this environment. So it's Mountain Drive, as you can see here on my screen, Mountain Drive, okay? Good, and now this particular drive just appeared, okay? So hope you guys are following. This drive just appeared now. Now this is my Google Drive. So when I come in here, everything I have on my Google Drive, all the files I have are in here. So I need to navigate to that folder I created. So this is the importance of having a very clean structure. You want your data sets and your Colab environment to be in the same folder so that you can easily access it, okay? So all I have to do is come down here, my drive, go straight to the folder, which was masterclass, okay? So I'm going straight, I'm looking for masterclass, and masterclass is right here, okay? And I have another folder, Python visualization, and there is the customer data, okay? So we've successfully mounted our drive. That is it now. How do we now bring this data to this environment is the next steps. Now, there is what we call packages in Python, okay? Packages in Python. Okay, before I go straight to that, now I want you guys to at least give me a thumbs up or send a yes on the chat to tell me you are following, okay? I need to be sure I've not been speaking to myself all this while. So tell me yes and give me a thumbs up if you are following. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for your response, thank you. Awesome, you guys are awesome, you guys are awesome. All right now, so I'm going to be doing a lot of abstraction today for the sake of those that are not familiar with Python, okay? I'm going to be doing explanations for you to see what we can offer you in Internalytics, okay? Now, there is what we call packages in Python. So Internalytics, we actually break this down to the lowest form and start from the scratch from Python. We don't just go straight to teaching you stuff like this, okay? We start from the scratch. But today we are going straight to this stuff. So there are what we call packages in Python. Now those packages are like already made tools that help you do what you want to do. Now I gave the instance of having a hammer at your disposal. So the hammer now, you did not create the hammer. Someone created it. So you can easily pick it up and use it to do what you want to do. Now, there's a package in Python called pandas, okay? Now pandas would help me do what? Can help me manipulate my data sets, okay? So I'm going to create a comment here first of all. All right, I want to import pandas. Beautiful. And I'll be writing a code. So to import that pandas I told you guys about now, I'll write import pandas. Okay, very simple. Python is too simple, okay? Just write import pandas and it is working. But now the problem is, okay, the problem is I do not want to always be writing pandas every time I'm using pandas. It is too long for me to be writing pandas here, pandas there. So I want to just create an abbreviation for it so that I can easily use it. So I'll say import pandas as what? PD. So whenever I call PD, my Python will understand that, yes, this guy is calling pandas, okay? So PD would be an abbreviation that will start for pandas. Okay, it's like having someone that has a very long name. You want to avoid calling that long name all the time. You just give it an abbreviation, something like JD or whatever abbreviation. Okay, so that is the abbreviation I just give. PD. I'm importing pandas as PD. So to run it, I'll click on this run button here, and it will run. Simple as that. Okay, very simple. All right, so I need to create more cells. I'm coming here to create more cells by clicking on this code. I need to create more cells for me. Beautiful. Now I want to load up my data sets. I showed you guys how I got to this data set right here. So now I'm looking at the data. I'll click on this part here. It's more like the option there. Okay, let me show you again. Click on this button at the side of that data, and it will show, you will see what's copy parts. So I can easily click on that. I have copied the parts of that data. Okay, so now I will say data underscore parts would be equal to, I will say arrow and put a quotation and put that data part. Now what I have done is telling Python that I want to save that data part into this name called data part. Okay, good. So let me run this particular cell. Beautiful, working fine. And now I will use the pandas now to read my data set. So I'll say data now is now equal to my data now, my data that I want to read is now equal to pd dot read underscore csv, open a brackets and put data underscore parts. Okay, so I've just put the name of the data part in here. So whenever I run this now, my data sets would load into this environment. Now we've achieved our first task by bringing the data set to this environment. So if I say data.head, that will show me the first 5 rows of the data set. And let's have a look at it. Good. So this is our data set. If I should remove this head and simply type data, it will show me the entire range of data. So my data spans from 0 to 199, which is 200 rows of data sets. Okay, so we have 200 rows of data sets. So let me put .head to basically reduce it. I just want to see the first 5 rows. Okay, so that is it. Now we've done the first task, which is importing this particular data to our environment. So what do we do now? Like I said, as you all know, we want to visualize it. Now, Python also has another tool that can help us for visualization. It also has another tool. And that tool is called matplotlib. Okay, I know that might have a very long name for those that are hearing for the first time, but not to worry, we'll just do it simply here. Okay, and I'll say imports. I'm writing the comments now. Imports tool for visualizing. Okay, import tool for visualizing. Okay, and now I will say I want to import that tool the same way we imported these pandas. Now I'll say import matplotlib .pyplots. Okay, as plt. I also give it an abbreviation because matplotlib.pyplot is too long. So I give it an abbreviation called PLT. Okay, good, and we'll run that and it will import. So I want to bring in more cells. I'll click the cell button, code button here, and it will give me more lines that I can use to code. Okay, so I'm making it as simple and as easy to follow as possible. All right, are we now ready for our visualization, how it can be done? Are we ready, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to see. If you are ready to see, give me a thumbs up. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Adesua. Awesome. All right, now let's go on and visualize. Okay, let's go on and do that. Osasu Macaulay. Oh, thank you. All right, let's go on and do that. Now, I want to import my data sets. I want to start creating visualizations for my data sets. So now there are certain type of visualizations that we can do in Python. That is what we call numerical data, and is also what we call categorical data. Okay. Now let's go on and look. Let's go scroll back up and look at our data sets. So now, if you see, the numerical data are those that are numbers. For instance, we have 19, we have 21, we have 20 here in the age column, this particular column called age. That goes to tell you that the age of the customers are in numerical data type, okay? And also here, we have certain categorical features like what? Gender. Here we have the gender is written in male or female. So it means we have what data types that are also categorical. They are not numbers, they are written in what? Letters. So now we want to visualize, do some categorical visualization and numerical visualization. Okay, we are going to take it short. But like I said, it's just a snippet of what we offer at Analytics, okay? So let's move on and do what? The categorical visualization first. Now, let's go on and do that. So to do the categorical visualization, I want to create a bar chart, okay? So first off, let me show you some functions in, what do we call it, in Pandas that would help us do these visualizations. Like I said, Pandas is the tool we use for data manipulation, okay? So if I write data now, which is this entire box of data here, okay? I want to access what? I want to access this age group here that I have right here. So all I have to do is data brackets and write the name of that column. So let me copy this name. Okay, I'm copying it and I'm bringing it down here. So let me run this cell and you see what it will give me. So you see now it's giving me just this entire column of that data set. So I'm able to isolate this column from the entire data, okay? Now, there is a function called what, or a method called value count. Let's do it, value. Let's do it step by step, count, okay? And see what this gives us. Good. So you see now this value count has enabled us to extract the unique categorical features we have in this column. For instance, when you are looking at this now, you see where we have age group, we have those that are customers that are teenagers, we have customers that are youths, we have customers that are middle-aged. So how do we know how many customers are teenagers, how many customers are youths, and how many customers are middle-aged? That's what this values count is for. So now you see the middle-aged, we have 98 customers that are middle-aged. For the youths, we have 50 customers that are youths. For elders, we have 40 customers that are elders. And for teenagers, we have 12 customers that are teenagers. These are things that you wouldn't be able to see on your own, looking at the data itself. And counting manually would have been a lot of stress for you, trying to count manually how many customers are middle-aged, how many customers are youths, how many customers are elders. So that would have been a lot of stress, and now Python has a method that simply just did that for us, did the calculation and printed it out for us. Good. Now that we have value count, we are going to use this to plot our bar charts, okay? We want to create a bar chart such that the x-axis would have what's middle age, youths, elders, and teenagers. And on the y-axis, the bar will be plotted according to the values of their frequency. So in this year, over here, we have 98 for middle age. So it will plot according to the magnitude of their frequency, okay? That is the essence of creating a bar chart, to visualize what the value count or the frequency count of unique categorical features, okay? Now, when I do something like, let us move on to creating our bar chart. All right, let us just go on and let me not complicate it. So chart one, okay, is our bar chart. And now, first off, I want to do age count, age group count. Okay, I'll say age group count. That would be more easy to understand. The age group count is equal to what I just did here, okay? Age group count is equal to this, okay? So I'll copy this code right here and bring it down here. So we've already seen what values count is for, okay? It gives us the unique categorical features and the frequency. Awesome. All right. Now, what else do we want to do? We want to use matplotlib, which is this PLT right here, to make our plots. So I would say PLT dot what? I said it's a bar chart, right? Bar, open bracket, as simple as that. That is as simple to create your bar charts. But there's what we call arguments in Python, okay? The arguments are basically just, in this case, in this particular scenario, it is just some descriptive variables I need to put in to let Python know how to plot the bar charts. So I will have to tell Python on the x-axis, plot this, and on the y-axis, plot this, okay? All right, so to do that, it's very simple. Now we understand that we want the x-axis to be what's the unique categorical features, okay? The unique categorical features. Now, for instance, let me say, let me call this value count, okay, is equal to this. All right, let me create a cell below that and show us certain things. For instance, if I do value dot what index, it will give me what? Let's see what it gives us. Value dot index is giving me what? The unique categorical features. Is extracting it from this point. As you can see now, we have what? Middle-aged, we have youth, we have elders, and we have teenagers. So value.index will give me that. And also, if I should do, let me do this here. Value.values. Okay, or let me call this something else. Let me call it df. Okay. So if I should do df.values, it will give me what? The frequency. And let me do df over here because I have changed it from values to df. Okay, I could choose to call this whatever I want. Okay, so if I do df.index now, it's giving me what? The categorical features. Now, you see this one, for middle-aged, the frequency is what? 98. For youth, the frequency is what? 50. For elders, the frequency is 40. And for teenagers, the frequency is what? 12. Now, with this, I can tell it on my x-axis, plot this set of values here, this set of outputs, this middle-aged youths, elders, and teenagers. And I can tell it on the y-axis, plots this set of counts, which is 198, 50, 40, and 12. So that's how we're going to create our bar charts, okay? So this was just to describe it to us. Now over here, where we had df, instead of df, we called it what? Age group count. Now, I'll tell Python on my x-axis, plot what? Age group what count dot what? Index. Remember, the index will give me this, okay? And on my y-axis, I will tell it what? Plot what? Age group count dot what? Values. Good. Now let's run that and see what it shows us. Let's just run that first. Okay. It's missing one positional argument called height. Okay. Oh yes. Instead of y-axis, we are going to call it what? Height. Okay. Because it is the height of the bar chart. All right. So it is the height of the bar chart. And let's run that and see what it gives us. Good. So you can see our bar chart is showing. As simple as that. Just a line of code can give me my bar chart in Python. And with this, I can see that I have more customers that are middle-aged than youths. So you see now, this is counterintuitive for what you would have thought if you had looked at the data or you have used your, let's say, common sense. We are working for a gym or a fitness company, and we are having more of middle-aged customers than youths. That goes to show you the power in extracting data, insights from data sets using your visualization. If I wanted to use common sense, maybe I would have said, we should be having more customers that are youths than middle-aged. So with this now, I can understand that, okay, maybe I should channel my marketing strategies to retain as much middle-aged customers as possible. So, and to gain as much new middle-aged customers as possible. And we are saying we have the least number of customers are what? Teenagers. So we can say, okay, we want to channel our marketing strategy to try and get more teenage customers. So those are the sets of, let's say, conclusions we can make from extracting insights from our data sets using visualizations or using Python and visualization, okay? Now, let's go ahead and do some other things to this bar chart. Let's make it as beautiful as possible. All right? Good. So I want to do something now. I want to adjust the size of this bar chart. It is too big. Let me see how I can adjust it to make it smaller or bigger or whatever. So over here, I'll do PLT, which is matplotlib dot what? Figure. Now matplotlib.figure will help me what? Specify the figure size, the size of the plot. So I'll say fig size, which is the size of the plots. Okay, the size of the plots, and I'll say is equal to the x-axis is what? I want the size of the plot x-axis to be 8 by, let me say 5. So I want the dimensions to be 8 by 5. Okay, so let me run that first and see what I get from that. Okay, so I've basically just increased the length of the plot, which is also not bad. Okay, now I want to include more colors. I want this middle age to have a different color from these youths, and these youths to have a different color from elders and a different color from teenagers. Okay, so I'll say color now. Over here, I can specify the argument for that, which is to tell Python, include this set of colors. So I'll say colors is equal to square brackets. The first color, I want it to be, let me say blue. I want the second bar color to be red. I want the third bar color to be, let me say pink. You can choose whatever color. And I want the fourth one to be orange. All right. Sorry. So let me run that now and see what I get. Good. Now you can see we have different set of colors for the visualization. So you can choose to make these as beautiful as you want. If it's a presentation you are making to your stakeholders, or you want to use a certain type of color for the visualization, you can make it as good looking as you want. Okay. All right. So I want to include other colors now. I'll say coral. These are not primary colors. Okay, there are also other colors that are outside the conventional colors you can use. So I would add this and make this third one, excuse me, make this one, let's say blue. And over here, I can make this pitch puff, okay? So these are not our conventional set of colors, and we can also use these for our visualization. All right, so there's also some other things I want to add to these plots. All right, I want to include labels such that whoever is looking at this plot over here will not be confused about what the x-axis and what the y-axis is for. Okay, so I want to include plots. I recall in my secondary school, they always tell us to label your x-axis and your y-axis. So let's go ahead and label our x-axis and y-axis. So I'll say add titles, okay? Our titles. All right, so plt dot what? X label. So I'm telling Python on my X label should be what? Age group, okay? And my Y label, plt dot Y label. So my Y label should be what? Number of what? Customers. Okay. And my words title should be what? Plt dot what title should be bar chart for what? Age group. Okay. And let's run that now and see. Okay. X label. Okay, I spelled that wrongly. Label. Good. So now you can see our X label is what? Number of customers. Our X label, X label, sorry, is age group. Y label is number of customers, and the label for the entire plot is what? Bar charts for age group. So this is a very simple way. This is like the ABC of visualization in Python, okay? This is a very simple visualization in Python. Now, in analytics, we teach more than this. We teach you how to do a lot of stuff to these bar charts. You can include, you can do multivariates. Okay, we can do multivariate, what's it called? Visualizations and orders. Okay, this is just the ABC, okay? Just to show us how much of a powerful tool Python is in visualizing data sets. So that is it for visualizing our age group. Now we want to also look at how we can create a different kind of plots. And it is a very popular plot that we all know, and it's called what? Excuse me. It's called the pie chart. Okay, the pie chart. Okay, good. Now let's see how we can create our pie plots. Okay. Now I want to create the pie plot for our gender. Okay. Now we all know we have just two genders, male and female. So I want to see which particular gender do we have more customers from, and which do we have the least number of customers from. So a good way to compare two categorical features is by using the pie charts. The pie chart will show you how many percentage of your customers are occupied by one particular, in this case, one particular gender, and how many percentage is occupied by the other. Okay, so a good way to compare two categorical features is by using the pie chart, and a good way to compare multiple categorical features is by using what? The bar charts, just like we did over here. So let's move on to do that. First, I want to be seeing my data. So I'll say data.head. I want to see it again. Okay, before we proceed. Good. So now we are creating what? Chart 2. All right. So before I continue, give me a thumbs up if you followed with chart 1. So I want to know how many people understood what I did in chart 1. Give me a thumbs up, or say in the comment section that you followed, yes, or basically just signify or signal me that you are all following. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good, good, good. Then we are going quite well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now let's go on and create what's our pie chart. Okay. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. So let's go on and create our pie chart. Now, for our pie charts, like what we did over here, we would also need to know the value counts, the frequency of what, or the percentage, or the number of male gender, and the number of female gender, in this case, male and female. Okay, like I said. So let's go on, and I'll say gender counts underscore counts. Gender count is equal to data bracket what's gender. So this my data over here is what I'm saying. Data brackets gender this time around. The first time we did age group. Now we are coming to gender. So I'm specifying data in quotation mark gender. Very simple. And I'm doing dots what? Value underscore counts. Value counts. Okay, good. Now what else do I need to do? So I'll say plt dot what? The first time we did plt dot bar for bar plots. Now we are creating pie charts. So what should we do? plt dot pie. So you see how easy it is. The syntax is very, very easy to understand. Okay. So what do I need? What is the first thing I need? I need my X label, which is what? The count of what? The specific gender. So like what we did in the first part, what we did dot index over here, dot index to get the count, dot index, sorry, to get the label, which was middle-aged, youth, and elder. So I need to do dot index as well over here to get the genders, the unique type of gender, which are male and female. So I'll say what's this gender count here, bring it down here, gender count dot what? This time around, I'm taking dot values, okay? And values. And the label is where I would do gender count dot label dot index to get the label, which is male and female. So I would say gender count dot what? Index. And that will return male and female and tell Python, okay, we're having male over here and female over here. So let's go and plot that and see what we get. Okay, plt.py. The X label is gender.values. Let me make sure everything is correct. Hold on. Okay, yes, plt.py equals to O. All right, so let's run that and see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now we have our male and our female. So this is a very simple pie chart showing our female over here, sorry, and our male. But now we need to do more to this. It's looking too plain. Okay, we want to make it look better than this. So that's why we add more arguments to these particular sets. And the first argument I want to add is an argument that will tell Python to display. Okay, hold on, I think. Can you all hear me clearly? Someone is saying they can't hear me clearly. Can everyone here hear me clearly? I need to be sure.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so the index now, like I said, I want to include words, some other things to this is looking too plain. Although this communicates the information that we are having more females than male, but I want to include more to it. We can do better than this, okay? So the first thing I want to do is to include an argument. Include an argument that will do what for me? Write the percentage that are female and the percentage that are male, and that this is the argument, okay? You have to write this as it is, this auto PCT to include what? The percentage that are male and the percentage that are female. It will be written on the pie plots, okay? So now I'm going to include this, so just follow me, percentage 1.0 F percentage. Okay, so this will do what? And percentage again. Now this will tell Python that write the percentage that is occupied by female in 1 decimal place. Okay, that's what we just did over here. This thing that's looking like gibberish over here is what it is to tell Python to write the percentage of female in 1 decimal place and the percentage of male in 1 decimal place. So let me run that now. Good. So you can see now we have what? 56% female and what? 46% male. Clear now. So we do not have to, let's say, assuming that it was not very obvious that what the female gender were more than the male, it would have been hard for you to just use your eye to tell which is more than which. But when it's written on it, it will be very obvious. Okay, so let's move on and include more things. So let's include a color like we did before. So now we have just 2 categories here, male and female. So I want to include just 2 colors. So I'll say colors, okay, is equal to square brackets, and I'll say red. And I'm moving to green as well. Okay. Now let's run that and see what it gives us. Good. So you see I'm having red and green. So you can also choose to use this set of colors we used over here. So let's leave this like this. So this is just to show you how you can adjust the color of your pie charts. Okay. So what else can we do to this pie chart? I want the pie chart to start from, let's say, angle 180 degree. It should start from angle 180 and calculate the angle, okay? So I will say, excuse me, start angle is equal to 180. Now let me run that and see. Good, so you see now, beautiful pie charts, easy to understand. And now with this, we can tell that we have what? More females than male. Okay, so this now is a very powerful insight to the company, telling them that majority of their customers are actually females. So when they are doing stocking inventory or whatever they want to do, channel their sales marketing or give special offers, they know the set of customers to prioritize, and they know, okay, let's say they are parity now, they want to adjust their parity to increase, to get as much new male customers as possible. This is communicating to them already that they have minority of male customers, so they will know how to channel or go back and look at the drawing board and see, okay, what are we doing that is making us have more female customers, and what do we have to do to get more male customers? So that is the power of having or extracting insights from visualization. Okay, now as data scientists, there's a lot we do with visualization. Like I said earlier on, this is the ABC. There is a lot we do. We do machine learning, and when we are doing machine learning, we also use this set of insights we get to know how to tailor our machine learning models. Okay, but for today, we just want to show you how you can use it to basically just communicate specific information to what your company or whatever company you're working for, basically to your clients. Okay, now what do I want to do as well to this plot? I want to include a title. The former part, we included the title to the plot, which was bar charts for age group. Now I want to include a title for this. Good. Now let's do PLT dot what title, open brackets, gender, what, I'll say gender, let me say gender analysis, okay? We're basically analyzing the gender. All right, good, so it's written here, gender analysis. So let's say this is appearing on your screen that is too large and you want to adjust the size. So we can also do what we did earlier on and say PLT dot what figure, open bracket, fig size is equal to what? Then you put the dimension and say, let me say 5 by 5. I want to make it 5 by 5 plots. So, okay, let me reduce this significantly so that it will be obvious. Let me say 3 by 3. Good, so you can see now that the size has reduced significantly. So you can use this this line, just this line of code to adjust the size. So you see how easy it is to visualize in Python. You want to add title, you are saying plt.title. Straightforward, it's not complicated. You want to create pie charts, plt.pie. You want to adjust the figure size, plt.figure. Very easy to use and very easy to master, okay? So that is it for analyzing our agenda. So we've successfully analyzed two categorical features that were non-numerical. Okay, they were categorical. They were male, female, teenager, youths, and middle age. We saw the various counts for each of them, and we saw where we had more customers. We saw where we have the least number of customers. And with this, the company can know the right action to take regarding customer retention and basically marketing. Okay, so that is it for demonstrating how we can do simple categorical visualization with Python. Now, let me know if you guys followed so far. Let me know if you guys followed so far. Okay, let me know in the comment section if everyone is following. Are we all following? Okay, I'm seeing your message over here. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Adeswa. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Amazing. Thank you very much. All right. Now, let's move in to seeing how we can do numerical features now. We've seen how we can, let's see, for a numerical feature like, let me say age, how do we know where majority, the age group between majority of our customers? Over here, we saw middle-aged youth, elders, and teenagers. But let's assume that we don't, for instance, the range for middle age might be subjective. Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So the range for middle age might be subjective. Now let's see where we have more customers in terms of this age category, this age feature over here, this age column. We want to analyze it. So what kind of plots can we use? Can we use pie charts? No. Can we use bar charts? No. What can we use? So let's go and see what is called a box plot in Python. Okay, a box plot in Python. Now, for this particular one, I want to see how we can do it we need learning materials and step-by-step use. No problem. Everything we did today will be provided to you. At Analytics, we offer more in-depth learning, in-depth training. This, like I said earlier on, is the ABC of visualization in Python. In Analytics, you see more crazy visualization, how you can do more manipulations with this, okay? But for this particular class, everything will be provided to you. Just make sure you register for the class. Just make sure you fill up the attendance form, okay? Now, let's move on. I want to see too fast. Okay, I'll slow down. Thank you very much for that comment. I want to show us how we can use a new tool for visualization. Matplotlib that we use for these two plots we just created is not the only one we can use. There are also others we can use, okay? Now, one other one we can use is called what? Seaborn, okay, Seaborn. I know they have funny names. They were funny to me the first time I heard it too, but Seaborn is also something we can use. So I want to import what now? Seaborn. Import Seaborn as what? SNS. So that is the conversion for importing it. So whenever you see SNS in any programmer's code, any Python code, know that they are using Seaborn, okay? For a first timer is not too clear. Yes, I understand that for a first timer, it might be confusing, but just make sure you get the concept and see how we are actually using this. Just make sure you get the concept. That's why Analytics is there for you. You can sign up at Analytics and we'll teach you much more advanced stuff and we'll start from the scratch. Everyone can code in Python and everyone can learn, okay? So let's import Seaborn as SNS, okay? Let's import Seaborn as SNS. Good. So I'll create more cells here that I want to work on and come down here and say, what's the first thing I want to do? Let me look up my data again to see the features that I'm working with. Okay, is age I want to analyze this time around. Okay, and I said we are going to create a box plot for it. Now let's create a box plot. Now box plot is used for visualizing what? For extracting insights from numerical features. So to create a box plot is also easy. I'll say SNS dot what? Box plot. And I open my brackets. Okay. Now in my box plots, I want the x-axis to be what? Data bracket what? Age. Okay. Now let me run that first. Let's run that first and see what we get. This is the box plot. This is what is called a box plot. Now I know this might be confusing for a lot of persons, but I'm going to explain, okay, how to interpret the box plots. Very simple. You know, there is something we call quarter. The same way we have the first quarter of the year, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter of the year. That's also where we have quartile, okay? So basically, see this like the entire range of the year. Like I said, the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter. Now, this is the first quarter of our entire age feature. This is telling us that 25% of our customers are within this range, from the range of, let's say, 18 to about, let me say 28 are within this range. 18 to 28 of our 25% of our customers are within the range of lots 18 to, let's say, about 28. And from here, it's telling us that the other 25% is within this range here, where we have, let's say 28 to about 35, okay? 28 to 35, okay? This range here, this second range that I'm moving my mouse to from here to here. 25% is also within this range, here and here. So the age of, let's say 35 to about 48 of our customers are within this range. And if you've been following me, you know that since this is 25%, this is 25%, and this is 25%, it means that 25 plus 25 is what? 50%. 50 plus 25 is what? 75. So 75% of our customers are within the range of what? Let's say 18 to about what? 48. 75% of our customers, that's a large percentage of the customers within that range. So that is the way we are interpreting this box plot, okay? And the remaining 25% are just within this range of, let's say, 48 to 70. So you see, we do not have a lot of customers within this range, age range. So if you are to sell products to this set of customers, seeing the age range of your customer, you should know the percentage of inventories you should stock based on the age range of majority of your customer. Are we all following? So that is the way we are going to interpret this box plot. But we are not done with the box plot. We are going to also do other things to it the same way we did. Label it, change the color, basically do whatever I want to do, okay? Now Seaborn is what we are using this time around. So first I want to change the color, and I'll say the color palette, okay? So palettes is what we are calling this time around. In Matplotlib, we call it colors, okay? Over here it's called palettes, okay? And I want to put a Seaborn color palette and sets 2. So let me rerun this. See, it's giving me another beautiful color, okay? I can also add something and say, show me the main, where the main value is. Show main, okay, is equal to true. So this is a Boolean expression, and that will show me where our main value is. So this triangle here that we're seeing right here is where the main value is, okay? So our main value of age is around these points, okay? Now, what else can I do? I can also include a label. So I can include a label with Matplotlib while plotting it with Seaborn, okay? Same way we included the labels over here. So we included labels, adjusted the figure, and did other things. We can include it. For instance, here we did PLT.title. So over there now, I want to include labels and title as well. So let's go on and do that. plt.xlabel age. So I'm labeling my what x label should be age. plt dot what y label. I'll call it values, age and value. Okay, and then I'll say plt dot what title. What else do I want to call my title? I'll say box. The title will be box what's plot for age. Box plots for age. And what else am I going to include? Okay, let's leave it at that for now. And let's see what that gives us. Good. So you are seeing the label now is showing age over here, value at the y-axis, and the label is what box plots for age. So it is that simple to work with Seaborn as well. Okay, so that is it for actually creating our box plot for age. That is it, okay? So if you followed that particular one, give me a thumbs up before we move to the last plots for today. Give me a thumbs up if you followed. Give me a thumbs up on the comment section. Give me a thumbs up. All right, all right. I really love the comments I'm seeing here. I really love the comments. So if you want to learn more, like I said, Analytics is the place to actually. There's no student of Analytics that would not chew this up and even do more crazier stuff than this. Okay, so this is just a demonstration to show you the least you can do, the bare minimum. Okay, you can do with Python. The bare minimum you can do with Python. All right, all right. So let's move on to our last plot for today, which is going to call the scatter plots. Now, this time around, if you notice, we'll be plotting just one, what do I call it now? Just one feature, okay? For instance, we plotted just gender. We plotted for words. You have changed me. So, all right, I love the comment I'm saying. We plotted for just bar charts. We plotted for gender. Over here, we plotted for age. Now, I want to compare two sets of things together. For instance, I want to compare what, let me compare the age and spending score. So let's see those that spend more for us, okay? Their spending score based on their spending score, okay? Or let's see those that have higher spending score, the set of age category where we have higher spending score, okay? So we want to see if truly, over here now, we can see that we have a minority of our customers within the age of 50 to 70. What if those set of customers have higher spending score? Now let's see, all right? Let's see by comparing age to spending score. And that is a classic example of what we call bivariate analysis, okay? By saying bivariate, bi means two, variate means variable. So two variable analysis, analyzing two variables, okay? So we're basically comparing one variable to another. In this case, we're comparing age to what? Spending score. All right, so let's go on and create our words. What this time we are going to do it with what we call scatter plots, okay? Scatter plots, all right. So now we've seen that for numerical features, you use box plots to actually, you can use the box plot to extract information from a numerical feature. Now I want to show us that we can also use scatter plots to extract information from what? Two numerical features, compare two numerical features and extract information. Now let's go on and do that, okay? So I want to say plot, scatter plot. All right. Scatter plot. All right. Now, how do we create this? Very simple. Okay. Very simple. We did. Now, I want you guys to guess what is going to be. When we're plotting box plots, we called it what? SNS.box plots. Now we are about to plot scatter plots. What do you think is going to be? It's going to be SNS.what? This time around, we are plotting scatter plots. What do you think is going to be? SNS.what? Yeah, we want to plot box scatter plots. Thank you, Michael. So you can see how easy it is. You want to plot box plots, you are saying box plots. You don't have to use one encrypted or cryptic information to communicate to Python. So we use box plots to plot box plots. For scatter plots, we are also going to use scatter plots, okay? Very simple. So thank you very much for that answer. That is awesome. So we are going to do sns.scatterplot. Thank you, Ademola, for that answer. .scatterplots. Scatter words, plot. And I'll say, good. On my x-axis of the scatter plot, I want to do what? Plot age. And on my y-axis, I want to do what? Plot what? Now, why am I putting age as spending score? Let's be following through. No, I'm not just giving them random names, okay? Let me show you. I'll say data.head. I'm not just using random names, okay? Let that come up, okay? So I'm saying age, this particular age. I use this age, yeah, because I want age to be on the x-axis. Now on the y-axis, I have to use this exact name, yeah. Python is very much case sensitive, okay? It's like when you're writing a password and you use lowercase instead of uppercase, it's saying password incorrect. That's how much Python is also case sensitive. You have to make sure that you use the right case and spell it exactly the way it is over here in your data, okay? So I'm saying score, spending score. Now, how is it going to know which data we are using? So I'll say data is equal to what? Data, this particular data over here, okay? So I'm telling Python now, go to data, this is my data here, pick up the spending score and plot it on the y-axis, pick up the age and plot it on the x-axis. That's what I just told Python right now, okay? As simple as that. So let me run that first and see. All right, so you can see now on my x-axis, I have age, and my y-axis, I have spending score. Now, before we add more arguments to this, let's look at it carefully. As we move up on the y-axis, the spending score increases. As we move to the right on the x-axis, the age increases, okay? So you will notice now that this set of high spending score were found between this age range from about, so let's say 18 to before we got to 40. That's what we saw this high spending score. And after that, we did not see any very much high spending score again. So you can see for people within the age of about 40 to 70, their spending score ended around 60. It just ended there. There are no spending scores. So that's how we are comparing two sets of values together, okay? So for age, from age 40 to 70, you see that there's no dots over here, no dots showing that there are values within this age. So this point is just empty, showing us that there were no spending score above this range of 60 for this age value. Now, when we got to between age, let me say 18 to about what, 40, we saw very high values of spending score. We saw that some persons had high spending score within that range. So that is how this scatter plot can be interpreted, okay? There are many other things you can actually extract from scatter plot, all right? Now, let me go on and include one more thing to this. I want to see how my gender is distributed around this scatter plot, okay? I want to see if I will have more gender within this age range, more gender, let me say, for instance, I want to see if I will have females more, what's it called, concentrated within this range, or I will have male within this range, or just random and without any well-defined pattern. So how do I include that? You can include a third feature. In this case, we are including the third feature, which is what's gender. So to include that third feature, it's called what? HEU, and I'll call it, open my quotation, okay, and write what's gender. Like I said, it's case sensitive, so make sure you are spelling gender exactly the way it is spelled here. Now let's run that and see what we get. Good. So you can see now the blue dots now belong to the male and the orange dots belong to females. But when we look at this, there is no pattern. If we had seen more orange within this range and blue within this range, we would have been able to say, okay, perhaps we would have been able to confidently say within this age range, we have more females, and within this age range, we have more males. But it's just, there is no well-defined pattern from this, okay? But I just showed us how we can include its third feature to our scatter plots. Now let's go on now and do what? Include what? A title to this plot. So I want to put a title. So I'll do PLT, sorry. So I'll do what? PLT, that's what? Title, open brackets. I see what relationship. The title will be called what? I want to call the title of this plot relationship what? Between age and spending score. Okay. And I also want to adjust the size of this plot. So let me put the label first and see what it gives us. As you can see now, we have the plots well-defined, relationship between age and spending score. Now I want to say PLT dot what? Figure to adjust the size, okay? Like we're doing earlier on, we're just repeating it. Fixed size for this particular one is what? 10 by 6. So I'm telling it, let the dimension be 10 by 6. So let me run that first and see. See now it's larger than it was. We just extended the length of the plot. So it's larger than it was before. Let me reduce it significantly so that we can see, I can say 3 by 6, 3 by 4. Okay, let me run that. See now, see how small the plot is, okay? But you wouldn't want to have your plot like this, okay? It's too small to interpret. You want it to be visible and easy to understand. So let me make it 10 by 6 like I did around 10 by 6. Good. So beautiful. Now this is the last plot we are creating for today. Now, what is the insight we got from this? We saw that we had what? More customers. Yeah, you get the recording, okay? We saw that we had more customers within the range of 40. We saw that, sorry, we had a lower spending score within the range of 40 to 47. And it was only within this age range that we found these high spending scores, okay? So when we are seeing high spending score on our data set, we know that it's coming from people within this age range just by comparing these two sets of what? Numerical features or numerical data. Now, is there anybody here that cannot confidently make at least one of these plots with Python? Say we give you this code, we give you this video, and you are coding along. Is there anybody in this session that cannot confidently at least make one of these? If you can, permit me to, okay? Okay, is there, you can't, is there anybody that can? Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can. So if you are coding along and you can actually create this this set of plots. This okay, Osas, thank you very much. So we have set of persons that can create this. Good, awesome, more thumbs up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, you will all have the recording. Okay, we can do all right, that's awesome. So these are just, like I said earlier on, snippets of what we offer in analytics. Okay, for the person that is saying coding is my only problem. Now at analytics, we have people coming from a wide range of different career paths, people that are not good with the technical parts, and we teach them Python from scratch to this point and beyond this point, okay? So this is just a snippet of what we offer at analytics. Now, when I hand over to my partner, which is Eddie Dong, she would give you a lot more information about what you can get from Analytics, okay? So let's move on to, let me switch over to the, okay. Hold on a minute. Okay, so now, let me see. These are the set of plots we created today. The distribution of what? Age. And we did what? Number of customers against age. We saw that we had what? More customers coming from what? The middle-aged. And we have the least set of customers coming from what? The teenage, that are teenagers, okay? And over here, we saw that we have more of female customers than what's male, okay? And over here, we saw that what? We had what's it called? The customers with higher spending score within this set of range, which are the two age 18 to 40, and customers within 40 to 70 had, let's say their spending score wasn't beyond the range of 60. Okay, so these were the set of insights we got. And also when we did our box plots, we saw that a large percentage of our customers were within the age of 20 to before 50 years of age, okay? So these sets of insights are what we can use to actually extract what's in from this set of insights are what the company can now use to implement certain strategies such as marketing strategies, sales strategy, and lots more, okay? So that is it for how we can do simple visualizations with Python, all right? So I'm going to hand over now to Edidion to take over from me. So Edidion, are you there? So let me stop sharing my screen.
Yes, thank you very, very much, Precious. I really, really enjoyed your class. And I saw a lot of persons in the chat saying Analytics should give you the title of chief lecturer. I must say that person has a good eye. Okay, thank you very much, Precious. All right, guys. If you learned something from that session, please let me see a one in the chat. If you learned something, the least thing, let me see a one in the chat, guys. Let me see a one. Let me see a one in the chat. I'm still waiting, guys. Is it that some persons did not? Is it that some persons did not
I'm seeing
learn?
ones on the chat. I'm actually seeing ones on the chat.
Okay, so I've seen 1,000. Somebody's even saying 1,000. Wow. Okay, so I just want to ask this so I know you learned something. So you just put the answer in the chat. Please, guys, don't do expo. So how do you import your Seaborn? How can you import Seaborn library into your Google Colab? Let me see. Fast finger. The person that's answering it is going to go home with something. Okay, Adam is saying that SNS impossible. Okay, so Michael has the ground, like Michael has literally won. Okay, so Michael, send me your Colo account details, right? So Tenality has something for you. Okay. So beautiful import Seaborn. So I know a lot of us actually know that. So that is a lie. I want it. Okay, yes, Adam, trust me, you want it, okay? And not to worry, send your Colo account details to www.analytics.io and we are going to send you the package. Okay, guys, now I know most of you must have been wondering, right? Because I think I saw some persons in the chat. How do I even do this? Like, it's sounding like gibberish, right? It's sounding like gibberish. I'm still finding it difficult. I didn't even understand. Okay, so in this next aspect, I am going to actually drive you through and show you one or two things and how you can actually achieve this. Okay, so the same way that Precious was able to do this, you can actually do it. Okay, Precious was not born with it. Trust me, he was not born with it. Okay, no data scientist was actually born with it. It's something that you learn and then you develop. Okay, so somebody dropped in the chat, do I have to cram all these codes? Don't worry, you don't need to cram, right? Analytics is actually here for you, and we are going to show you step by step on how you can actually become a full stack data scientist. Okay, and in our program, right, we offer Analytics offers different programs. Okay, so we are just selling the data science today. Okay, so if you are interested, you're like, how do I start? How do I use Python? Right, I want to do the same thing Precious was able to do. I want to even do more. Right, okay, so this is actually for you. This opportunity is for you. So now, how do you even get started? Okay, so what is the whole data science program about? Okay, so in Analytics, we have 100% online learning virtual instructors. Okay, so everything is online. Okay, depending on where you are. So we noticed on this call, I asked from the beginning, so where are you joining us from? Because I know we always have people from different locations. So the same thing, our classes are all virtual, so you don't have to come down to a particular spot. So far as you have internet, so far as you have a laptop, right, you are good to go. And then our classes, they are 100% online, right? And then you have full-time access. Don't worry, in few minutes, I am going to show you what I mean. Okay, so you have full-time access to all the materials we use in class, right? We have hands-on practical sessions with videos, exercises, and projects. So this is the one thing that really distincts Analytics. Everything we do is purely practical. We don't just come in and give you the theory, right? You know, in universities, they literally gave us all theory. But here in Analytics, everything is hands-on practical. Just as you saw Precious doing, it's literally the same thing we do in our live classes, right? Where we give you that practical session with videos, exercises, and projects. So we don't just come in and teach like this. After that, we give you projects to work on. And our projects are not just abstract projects, right? They are industry relevant. Don't worry, in a few minutes, you are going to see that. And then you're going to be having 20 plus classes and 50 plus topics to look at. We have 100% job prospects, and then we have industry relevant certificate. So at the end of the program, you are going to be given a certificate, right, to certify you. Okay, so at the end of program in analytics, you are going to be called master data scientist. That sounds interesting, right? Okay, and then you are going to have like 10 projects added to your portfolio. So if you don't have an idea what a portfolio is, do not worry, right? We are actually here for you. Okay, so now how do you even get started? So now you know everything about the program, like program overview, or okay, how the program is. How do you even get started? Okay, so now the first thing, the way to analytics is we take you from the basics. Okay, so we don't just assume, like what Precious just did, that was just an overview, right? Just to show you how we can use Python. But when you come into our class, okay, the data science class, we start everything from the scratch, because it's important you have the basics, right? Starting from statistics. So all those things Precious was mentioning, right, about you knowing the mean, knowing the average and the rest of them. So all those things, that's statistics, right? The average. In school, they didn't even tell us why we even do average. They just tell us, okay, central tendency. You have your mood, you have your median, and then you have your mean. They didn't even tell us why do we even do all these things. They didn't tell us. But when you come into analytics, right, we are going to start from the scratch, telling you, okay, the basis of statistics, and then we tell you why you are actually doing a particular thing. Why do you actually need to find your mood? Why do you actually need to find your median? Okay, and then how do you even come up with inference now based on what you get from those statistical values? All those things are going to be covered. Not to worry. If you think I don't even have any knowledge, do not worry. This program is actually for you, because we'll start from the scratch. So after you learn statistics, the next thing we are going to be doing is to teach you Excel, right, and Tableau. How you can use Excel and Tableau predictive analysis. Okay, because now as a data scientist, you're going to see that in a few minutes, that most thing you're going to be doing is predictions, right? So we are going to start from the basics. So how can you use Excel? How can you use Tableau to actually do these predictions? Because there's how you go into an organization and then they don't use Python. They're telling you, we don't know what Python is, we are still using Excel. Then, because the way to analytics is, we are going to embed you with all the necessary tools, okay, to get started in the industry. So we teach industry relevant topics, right? So by the time we teach you how to do predictions in Excel, so if you get to a company and then they're like, oh, we don't do Python, okay, so for a start, you have to start with Excel. Remember the saying that says when you're in the room, you have to behave like the room. It's just the same thing. So now by the time you get in and then you start using Excel, at some point they're going to tell them, look, this thing is actually traditional. Let's take it a bit further and then you can introduce Python to them. But for the start, you know how to use Excel. And now the way we teach our Excel, we are going to be teaching you overview of Excel from the scratch of Excel. Okay, so even if you feel you do not have any knowledge of Excel, not to worry, we've got you covered. Okay, the next thing, after you use Excel and then Tableau, we are going to teach you how to use SQL. What's SQL? Is SQL query language. And now every organization have what we call a database, right? They have where they store their data. Okay, so it's just like how we in our different houses. Okay, so let me look at the women aspect now. In your kitchen, right? You have containers, you store different things. You have containers, you store your salt, you have containers, you store your Maggi and the rest of them. So it's the same thing in every industry, right? They have where they store their data, right? And at this point, it's called a database, right? It's like that warehouse, it's like that container. And now, how do you even manage that database, right? That is where your structured query language comes in. So in every organization, they always have where they store their data. Okay, so that is why analytics is going to teach you SQL, which is a program for you to use and manage those database in the individual organizations, right? The next thing we are going to be teaching you is Python, right? Just as what Precious just did, we are going to be teaching the elementary part of Python, so from the scratch. Okay, so we're going to teach you the different data types you have. Okay, and before we now go into how you can explore this different data you're going to be bringing in, so everything is going to be from the basics. After that, we're now going to teach you how we can do your machine learning and computer vision using your Python. So that was what Precious was saying. We are just scratching the face. We have a lot of things you can do with Python. As a matter of fact, Python is used by different persons in this tech space. Okay, so programmers still use Python. Okay, programmers still use this Python. Those ones that do the build web, they still use Python. But we as data scientists, we also use Python, but the way we use it is actually different, right? So you see, you use it for your machine learning, you use it for computer vision as well. Even your analysis, you can still use Python, right? So that's an overview of what we do. Okay, so after that, you learn this, you become a master data scientist. So after going through this whole circle, you are going to be jumping and relating the way these guys on my screen are actually relating, because they have gotten like the whole value. They are now full data scientists. Okay, so now you know that. Let's go through the different things we cover. Okay, so it's like a ladder. Okay, it is like a ladder. Like I mentioned, the first thing you are going to be learning is statistics. Okay, so it's baby steps. We don't just jump in. Okay, so we start from the basics. Okay, from statistics, then we go over into your Excel, then your Tableau, we go over SQL, the Python programming, data visualizations, your machine learning, then your computer vision and natural language processing. We don't just stop there, right? Like I mentioned in our intro, the way Analytics is, we try to embed you with the new technologies. So we are up to date. So any new technology that comes up, we include it in our curriculum. Okay, like you see Microsoft Fabric, it just came out like some months ago, right? Microsoft Fabric is not even up to 2 years yet. It's just some industries have not even started using it. They've not integrated it yet. Okay, but we teach our participants this so that anywhere you find yourself, you are able to take up any job role, right, relating to what you do. So we introduce the Microsoft Fabric, and then we have ChatGPT. We teach you how you can actually leverage ChatGPT as a data scientist. And then again, we bring in GitHub Copilot, and then this one is going to help you as a data scientist in terms of putting out your work, right? So the way Analytics is, we embed you with all the necessary things. So apart from just teaching you the skills, it's not just anyhow. We make sure that we give you the industry related skills, industry related. We don't just beat around, right? And now all these things is just 50%. Right, so this is like 50% of what is going to help you to land a job. Okay, so there are many persons that actually have these skills, but they're saying there's no job, of which you know very well it is a lie. Okay, when you are in the tech space, there's nothing like there's no job, right? You will always have opportunities, but how do you position yourself? Okay, so the skill here is just 50%. You knowing how to use Tableau, you knowing how to use Excel, you knowing how to use Python, right? It's just 50%. There is another 50% which I will show you in few minutes. Okay, so now after you've learned all these skills, right, you can apply for jobs, and these are the different roles. Okay, so as a data scientist, you are not just limited to applying to only data science roles. Okay, so as a full stack data scientist, you can apply as a data scientist. You can apply as a data analyst. You can apply as a sales analyst, SCM analyst, fraud analyst, pricing analyst, right? So the way Analytics program is, okay, the data science program, we embed you with a lot that you can actually fill up these different roles. And we have participants that has actually gotten these jobs. Don't worry, you are going to see in few minutes, right? We have persons from the data science cohort that actually landed a job as a fraud analyst. Okay, they've landed jobs as a data analyst as well. Okay, so you are not limited. That is why it is called full stack data science, because we embed you with everything, right, for you to actually look at these roles, and then for you to apply for it, and then you get the role. You're not going to be limited in terms of, oh, I don't have this particular skill, right? So the way the program is, we make sure that we embed you with the skills that you can actually land a job after your program. Some persons even land a job within their program, right? So let's quickly go through other things. So now you heard me mentioning you can apply as a data scientist, you can also apply as the data analyst, and we always have these different questions, okay, of people asking what's really the difference. So you mentioned data analyst, you mentioned data scientist, so like what is it all about? Like I'm confused. Okay, so in a nutshell, we have different types of analytics. We have different types of analytics. We have the descriptive, we have the diagnostic, we have the prescriptive. Okay, so when you have to answer questions like what happened, okay, so what actually happened here, okay, they give you a data set and then you're trying to answer questions of what happened, that is descriptive. Okay, by the time you go over into how did it happen, that is diagnostic. And now those two is what a data analyst does. They answer questions like what happened and then how did this thing actually happen. But as a data scientist, you go a step above, right, which is going into the predictive aspect of things, answering questions like what would happen. Okay, so that's why I said as a data scientist, you can actually do what a data analyst does. Okay, and then you don't just stop there. Okay, you go ahead. So that's why when you go through the data science program, you are going to embedded with these skills as both a data analyst and a data scientist. So you see how our programs are, right, well embedded. Please let me know that I am not lost anybody and you are still with me. So if you're getting what I'm saying and it's sinking, please let me see a one in the chat. Let me see a one in the chat. Let me know that you are still with me. Is it making sense? Are you already picking interest in this role? Because trust me, data science is actually a very fantastic tech role to jump on into. Okay, so let's just go on. Sorry, give me 1 minute. All right, so now apart from just the packages, which is the different courses you are going to do, Tenalytic does even more than that. So after your program, okay, we have a 1 month free virtual internship. Okay, this is another interesting part about these programs, right? So after we have given you the few months training, 3 months training, you have 1 month to actually now come in and then let's see what you have done. Okay, at this point, it's an avenue for you to now add more projects to your portfolio, right? Okay, so apart from, okay, you have finished your classes, can you actually do what we taught you? So we bring you into that internship phase where you are going to now work on different projects and then we see what you have done. And now the projects you are going to be working on are industry related, right? It's not just the dummy project, right? They are all industry related. So you are going to be literally solving business problems using all these different projects while you are in your internship. Okay, and then this internship project, right, you can add it to your resume. Okay, you can add it to your resume. You can actually showcase it to your potential recruiters, telling them, okay, this is what I actually did. Okay, and then we've had participants that actually testified of this. Don't worry, you are going to see. I know some people, like most of them, they have doubts. Seeing is believing. Okay, so how does this internship actually work? So we give you real life projects and then you spend time to learn about all that, and then you are going to be networking with different industry experts. Okay, so the way the internship works, you don't just work just as a data scientist. We now collaborate you with different persons from different programs like the data engineering. So you're now going to work as a group and then you have that feel of how it is to work in an industry, right? Collaborating with other persons in the different tech space. Okay, so not just as a data scientist. Okay, so you collaborate. So that's like another very interesting thing about our internship project. So like I mentioned earlier, you can add it to your portfolio. Okay, and then again, you're going to have project reviews with experts. Then you're going to develop your skill. The project you're going to be having like 6 real life business projects added to your portfolio. Okay, so now the way the tech ecosystem actually works is not just about I can do it, I can do this, I can do that. Recruiters will want to see what can you do. Let us see. Okay, they want to see it apart from you just having a certificate, right? Trust me, they want to see. So most persons don't even look at your certificate. Certificate is just a piece, it's just making it like, okay, you've completed a project. But when you want to go to recruiters, what they'll be asking for, okay, let's have a link of your portfolio, meaning let's see the project you've worked on, let's see what you have actually done, because it is those your project that you worked on that is going to convince them, for them to believe that, oh, you can actually do this. And that is why Tenalytics is actually here for you. Okay, so now let's look at why you should actually choose Tenalytics. Why Tenalytics? Okay, we know very well you have we have several education technology firms. But why Tenalytics? Okay, we have sweet, interesting packages right for you that actually makes us the best and why you should choose us. The first one is a phenomenal achievement, helping persons get a job. This is one of the things Tenalytics actually pride on. Okay, so we've helped over 2,000 plus people to transition from the classroom into their first job intake. Now, what we mean there is people have gotten jobs, right? But we are more specific about persons that don't have any knowledge, right? You don't have prior information about all this, right? This is like your very first time. Okay, you just feel, okay, let me transition into the tech eco space. So these are the kind of persons we accounted here for, which is over 2,000 persons. Okay, so this is something we pride on. Okay, so irrespective of the fact that you are a newbie, you don't know anything. Okay, so the same way this set of persons actually landed their first job, you can actually do this. And now these jobs they are learning is across the UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and Asia, right? So this track record is our success story for over the past 4 years. Okay, so and then most time we even lose track because over 2,000, we are not specific here now. That's to say that it is a whole lot. So this is one of the things why you should actually choose Tenalytics. The second is the industry standard facilitators and the curriculum. Okay, so you've gone through our curriculum, okay, few minutes ago to see that what we actually embed there are industry standard. Okay, so we keep you updated on what the industry is actually looking out for in a data scientist, and then we bring it to you. Apart from that, we have facilitators that are well experienced, they're working in this industry. So by the time they are sharing their experience, you know it is first-hand information they are giving you. Okay, so and another thing is the blended training to accommodate every learning type. This is another interesting part about Tenalytics. So irrespective of the fact that, oh, you are a newbie or you are a slow learner or you feel you are a fast learner, either ways, whatever category that you are in, Tenalytics got you covered. Okay, so we have what we call both the live class and then a watch me do it video. So whether you are a slow learner, you have watch me do it videos to help you, to introduce you to these different topics. Okay, they break it down as simple as possible for you to understand. And then we still have a live class. And now this live class, we have recordings for it. So even if you are in class and then while you're going to the class, you're still having issues, you are not getting it. After the class, you will have the recording that you can now sit back, okay, and then go through it at your own pace and catch up. So that's why we're saying that irrespective of the type of learning person you are, we got you covered. From the watch me do it videos down onto the live class recording. Don't worry, I'm going to take you through our classrooms and then you have a feel of what I am talking about. Okay, the next thing is the tailored sessions to position you to land your first job. Now, this is that other 50% I talked about earlier. Okay, so it's not just about embedding you with those skills, knowing Excel, knowing SQL, and the rest of them. We are now going to position you. How can you now put yourself out there to get a job? That's another thing Tenalytics pride on. Okay, so we have different sessions to help you land your first job. Okay, from the CV review to the LinkedIn optimization to interview prep and so on. Okay, so that's like the things that we have embedded to make sure that you land your first job as a data scientist. But wait, that is not all, right? We have everything positioned accordingly just to help you get your first job, just to help you ensure that you can get your first job from a place where you had no idea to where you can actually pride, oh, I am a master of data science, and then I have landed my first job. Okay, let's look at the first level. So the first thing we have, like I mentioned, is the CV review. So now you've gotten all the knowledge you need from the class. Okay, you've worked on different projects. Now, how do you sell yourself? You know, first that when you apply for a job, they'll ask for your CV. And now things that actually turn people off, okay, that immediately you apply for a role, you get, sorry, unfortunately, okay, all those heartbreaking mails, immediately you apply. How did they do that? Okay, so there's actually a way that you can put it that your CV to make it a bit attractive, right? Okay, so Tenalytics is going to help you. We have sessions to review your CV, okay, and then we help you tailor your CV according to those job roles you are applying for. Another thing is the LinkedIn optimization. So if you notice, in application sites, they will ask for your LinkedIn link, right? So LinkedIn is like a marketplace where you're supposed to showcase yourself, put in everything you have. So it's just like Facebook, right? But now LinkedIn space is a bit more different, like from what you have in Facebook. Okay, so LinkedIn here is literally like a marketplace where you can sell yourself. So you put yourself out there, you post about your career and the rest of them. So we are going to now show you how you can optimize your LinkedIn. You know the way Google works, that when you search something on Google and then you're going to see top ads coming up. Okay, so at that point, those persons have optimized their search engine in a way that when somebody search for a particular topic, their company come up first. It's literally the same thing in LinkedIn. So imagine somebody going into LinkedIn and then the person is searching data scientist. Will your profile actually come up? Okay, so that question is not left for you to answer. Okay, so that you have your profile coming up at least first 5, first 10. When somebody actually search for a role related to you, you are going to show at least on top 5, top 10. Okay, that is where your LinkedIn optimization comes in, and we are going to actually show you how you can actually do that. The next thing is Upwork optimization. Okay, so Upwork is another marketplace where you can actually work as a freelancer. Okay, so we are going to show you how you can actually work as a freelancer using Upwork, and how you can optimize that your Upwork in a way that you make cool cash just sitting at the comfort of your home. Another thing is navigating the job market. Okay, so one thing is to have the skill, and another thing is to know where to apply for jobs. Okay, and that is why Analytics is actually, we are going to show you how you can navigate the job. And then now when you land your first interview, okay, Analytics is not just going to leave you and like, okay, we are done with you. No, we are now going to help you prepare for that job role in terms of the interview preparation. So we are going to have like a prep session where we come in and do like a mock interview for you. So now let's see how you are going to be able to go there and then represent yourself well. So we prep you and then you know what you are going in for in the interview. So in a way that interview, you are not going to be tense. We are going to now boost your confidence level, and then you know what to expect. Okay, so the next thing there is the recommendation and reference letter. So now you've gotten your job and you're asking for a reference letter, a recommendation letter. Analytics got you covered, especially those ones in the UK, those ones in US and Canada. Most companies, they'll always ask for that reference letter. And now the thing is, most times they don't even ask the applicant directly. Okay, so you say you have so and so experience, and then you've added Analytics to your reference. They will just reach out to Analytics directly and then rewrite the reference and send it back to them. So you see that Analytics actually got you covered from you getting the skill to you landing your first job. Okay, so the second level now is the weekly mentorship sessions, where we actually prep you, we give you all the necessary information you need regarding the industry. Okay, and then we bring in experts from different industries to come and now talk to you, and then you know how you can actually put up yourself out there. We bring in some HR specialists to now come in and talk to you. Okay, so we try as much as we can to ensure that you have the necessary information you need for industries out there. Okay, the next one is on the job support. So when you get your first job, okay, so we don't just allow you, because at that point you might still be a bit shaky. Okay, so when you have issues like that, you come back to us. So Analytics is building like a community. So even after your training, you get your job. Okay, we are still there to support you in terms of helping you out to work the company project or any company issues you are having. Okay, at that point, maybe they give you a task. Okay, you're a data scientist, help us do this, help us do that. And then probably you're having one issues or the other. Analytics got you covered. All you just have to do is reach out and then you are covered. Okay, and then what is the next level? Okay, the next level is the promise we have for you. So we guarantee you to have a job interview 1 month after completing your training with us. You might be wondering, how are these guys going to do it? Okay, so it's going to be a joint effort between Analytics team and then yourself, in a way that you are going to apply for jobs. We are going to help you, and then we are going to position you out there, because we are signing partnerships, okay, with recruiting firms. So we pick our best students and then we recommend them. So that's why we say we'll guarantee you for that first interview after one. And now when you get this interview, we won't leave you. Like we said, we are going to prep you. Okay, so now what are those new strategies that we have actually added, okay, in our 2024 curriculum? Okay, so the first thing there is the body mentorship hub. So now here is where we bring our past participants now come in and give. It's like giving back to the community, where they come back and then they talk to the current participants on how they actually landed their own jobs. How did they go through this journey? Okay, so it's better when you have a feel of somebody talking to somebody that was, oh, I started from this level and now this is where I am. It's going to be like an encouragement as well to our participants. So we bring this our alumni and then they talk to our participants and they give them the necessary tips, right, on how they landed their own jobs and how they went through that journey. Okay, and the next thing there is an enhanced internship experience. So the internship for all programs are well enhanced. Okay, so it's transformed in a way that you are going to get value from it, where we give you real life business cases for you to work on and then develop yourself. At the end of the day, you add it to your portfolio. Quickly, shortly, I'm going to show you a participant that got a job right in the internship. Okay, and then this person used the project we actually worked on during the internship. Okay, can you do XYZ? Tell us the time you were able to solve a particular problem using this. The person used the experience from the internship, telling them, okay, I've worked on a project like this when I was in analytics, and trust that person landed the job just because the person had that experience. Don't worry, I am going to share that story so that you be like, no, seeing is believing. Okay, and then one other thing we've added here is 2 months for data engineering and business analysis internship. So we've enhanced those programs internship from 1 month to 2 months, where they are going to be building web applications. They are going to be working with software developers, the scrum masters, and other stakeholders. Right. And the next thing we are putting down is doing partnership with recruitment agencies. I mentioned that earlier. Okay, so with the UK, the Canada, US, and other countries. So we're trying to sign partnerships with these recruitment firms so that we can actually recommend our students. So you've gone through our programs, okay, and then you are you need help in terms of getting jobs. So by the time those companies reach out to us, what do? We'll push in our students, obviously. Okay, so that's what we have put in place, okay, to ensure that you have a packaged journey with Tenalytics. Now let's look at some of the projects. I've been talking about this project. Okay, so now let's look at some of those projects that we have worked on. Now, the way the projects are, so most times we try to revamp a bit, but all these are industry related. Okay, so that experiences from our different facilitators, but we try to change some things for privacy. Okay, so you won't expect us to put the names of some of the companies or some we put, okay, but then we try to change the data. We play around with the data, so so that we don't put our companies information out there. Okay, so this is one of the projects we work on, Future Tail Hotel reservation. Okay, and then for every project we work on, we actually have a case that we actually look at the problem. There's a problem in which you are trying to solve using these different case studies. Okay, and then this is one of it, and this is the Jumbo e-commerce case study, and this is Eni and Sons Electronics. So all these are company related problems that they had. It's like a real business problem that they had, and then those are our facilitators. They actually worked on this project, and then they're like, oh, let's bring it in and then use this to train our participants. Okay, so that by the time they're faced with stuff like this, they will be able to handle it, and then they'll be proud, okay, to say that, oh, I can actually do this thing because I have done it before. Okay, these are some other projects we have worked on. So this slide is going to be available. This slide is going to be available for you after this session. So please, if you've not filled the attendance form, try as much as you can to fill it so that you can get access to the slide as well as the recording, so you can actually go through all this. This is another project we've worked on, and these are our students. This is a computer vision project which they worked on. So this is a hand dictation project. Okay, so these are all our students did this. All this was done using Python. So this is a computer vision project. So you can see this is a full body pose dictation. This is a hand. Okay, we have a whole lot of it. So like I said, the slide will be available for you. Now, apart from that, So what else do you stand to gain? Like I mentioned, we are all full packaged. Okay, so you can actually work as a freelancer, right? You can work fully remotely as a data scientist, and then you earn in dollars. You might be wondering, how do I do this? Okay, don't worry. This slide, you can just come here and click on it, and then you get access to this. And then we have different sites that you can actually apply jobs from, and then you work remotely. Okay, so I know most of us are familiar with Upwork. I believe most of us are familiar with Mr. Upwork. Okay, so this is like a very common site, and then the Glassdoor. Okay, so all you have to do is just you sign up to this site, okay, and then you literally search for the job role in which you're looking for. So let me quickly just walk us through. Just give me a minute. Let me just walk us through on how you can actually go through Upwork in few minutes. Okay, please guys, confirm you can see my screen. Please, can somebody still see my screen? Can you still see my screen?
I can see it. I did.
All right, thank you. So let me quickly show us how we can do that. Okay, so I'm just going to type in www.upwork.com. So the site is free, right? Upwork, you don't need to pay. So all you just have to do is you sign up, have an account, okay, just your email and then your password. So let me quickly just search. So I'm going to do based on job. So if you come here and then you search data science or data scientist, whatever way, and then you search. So you're going to see different job roles. Okay, you're going to see different jobs. So let me change this to a job and not a talent. So this one will just showing us talent. So in here, you can build your portfolio to actually showcase it as a talent. So by the time they search for a particular job role, okay, that is where the optimization comes in. Your profile is going to come up on top of it, right? So this is when people can just come here and then, okay, I'm looking for a data scientist, and then they search. So by the time you optimize your account, your profile should be able to come up at least first 10 persons, right, which are going to come up here and show. Then people can just go through the profile and, you know, message you in terms of, oh, I have a project. Okay, at that point, you're working as a freelancer. You're in your house. You're at the comfort of your home. Okay, and then Upwork pays in dollars, and then you're earning your dollars. Okay, but how can you actually do this? First, you have to optimize your Upwork profile. Okay, so let's just go back to our slide. So that's literally that for Upwork. So just www.upwork.com. By the time you're in the program, we are going to actually show you how you can navigate that. Okay, so you might be feeling this is not possible. Oh, this Etidem has been lying to us. She's blabbing. Okay, so now let's see some success stories of some of our participants. Okay, so this is Tony landed a job as a benefit analyst with NHS in the UK. This is a full sponsored role, full sponsorship. Okay, this is like 1 month after her training, or 1 month in the training with analytics. That's when she got this job. Okay, so that you not say it's not possible. So this slide is going to be available. You can click on it and watch the testimonies. Okay, this is another person said our mentorship and interview prep helped Oluwatosin get a job. So this person got a job as a fraud analyst. This is what I was telling us earlier, as a fraud analyst, right? So we helped him, okay, through the mentorship sessions, okay? We gave him the different tips he needed. And after that, we still prepped him. Okay, so he got the job. We were still there to prep him and hold his until he got the job. Okay, so we are going to explore more testimonies later. But now let us look at the special offer. Remember, I told us earlier, when you wait to the end, you are going to get this special offer. So how can you actually become a data scientist? How can you join analytics to help you go through these wonderful journeys? Okay, so currently, thank God for the International Women's Day. So month of March is actually for the women. Shout out to the women. So analytics okay, as they are celebrating the women, okay, by giving scholarships. So now we are kind enough to bring in men as well, because last year we gave a slot for 300 women, but we ended up giving 320, and people were like, what happened to the men and the rest? So this year we decided to do 300 women and 50 men. Okay, so why are we even giving this scholarship, right? Why are we giving this scholarship to the women? We noticed, okay, based on statistics, that just 26.7% of the women are in a tech-related job. So you can imagine that. So the men are actually in dominant with these particular roles. Okay, so now analytics is like, oh, let's bring more women into the tech eco space. Okay, and this has even been declining for the past 2 years. We've discovered a decline in this percentage for the past 2 years. So analytics is like, okay, let's try to train more women, okay, and then bring them into this space. Okay, so that's why we are giving 300 women and then we are giving 50 men. Okay, now this is a blog that actually published what we did last year. So like I mentioned earlier, we gave 300 women, so to be more precise, or 350, 320 rather. Since the slot was for 50, they published 50, right? But we ended up absorbing 320. That's just how analytics is nice. We have good heart. But this year, we are going to try as much as we can to stick to 300 women, and then we are going to stick to 50 men. Okay, so our next training program is going to be starting on the 6th of April, 2024. So how can you actually join this program? How can you join this program? How can you actually get started and get in? Okay, so first thing first, okay, so the scholarship, we are giving a slash of 50%. So Tonality is telling you, okay, don't worry, we have paid 50% of the money for you. Come in and pay just 50% of the training fee and then join this program. So for the 300 women, you have 50% discount. For 50 men, we have 50% discount for you to actually join this program. The next, ensure, very important, let's ensure that you join this. Okay, and then the program is starting on the 6th of April. You might be asking, okay, how do I join? Okay, what am I supposed to do? Okay, now, so it's 300 women, right, and 50 men across all the different programs that Analytics has. We have like 7 programs. And now for data science, we were given a slot of 40 women and 10 men. Okay, so we shared the slots across all the programs so that we don't cheat any program. And as it stands right now, last I checked, the slot is very, very limited. We already have like 25 women that are paid, and then for the men, we have 2 men. So as it stands now, the slot is limited. Okay, so if you're a man in this school, you have to try as much as you can to seal your own space. Okay, so now how do you do this? So if you notice, full stack data science program, okay, so if you're paying in dollars, okay, you have $750 as full payment. But thank God for the discount rate we are having. We slashed it into 50%, so like this is half of the money. So $375 is what you are going to be paying. If you are paying in pounds, you have 625, and then this is what you're going to be paying for the discount, 313. Okay, if you are paying in Canadian dollars, you have 1,050. But for the scholarship we are having, you're going to be paying 525 Canadian dollars. So if you are paying in Naira full payment is supposed to be 900,000. But yeah, we are doing a scholarship slash. So you are going to be paying a 450. Okay, so this is the full payment. So immediately our slots are exhausted. So remember I said data science, we have just 40 women and 10 men. And as it stands, 25 women has already locked down their own space. And then we have 2 men that have actually locked down. So we just have spaces now for 8 men. Okay, so please, if you want to call and then you want to start this program with us on the 6th of April, so all you have to do is click on the link. Okay, my colleagues have started dropping on the chat. So click on this link, the main stack, okay, and then you make your payment from there. I'm going to show us quickly how we can do that. So immediately you click on this link, it's going to take you to our site. Okay, so where you have to go down and pick the IWD discount, and then you make your payment to log. Now the payment is a one-time full payment registration. Okay, so now before the discount, since it's a discount, okay, so we don't allow you to split payments, right? So so the full payment you're making, right, you will now split it. Okay, so you're going to pay in 2 installments. Okay, so you pay a certain amount, okay, first, and then 1 month into the program you pay the remaining part. But now we've already slashed, we've been kind enough to give this scholarship, and we slashed the 50% already. So now you have to pay full amount of this if you are paying in dollar, if you are paying in pound, pounds, if you are paying in Canadian cedi, if you are paying in naira, you have to just make this deposit to lock down your discount. Remember, I said it is limited. Okay, it is very limited. 25 women have already taken the spot. 2 men has already taken the spot. I'm so kind enough to announce it. So in case you see 40 and said, oh, I still have time, please try as much as you can to lock down your own spot right now. Okay, so immediately we exhaust 40 women and 10 men. Any other person registering, you will have to make full payment. Okay, so this offer ends, like I mentioned, 31st of March or when this slot has been taken. So by the time we have the numbers we need, we are going to close this discount. So anybody joining after that time, you make the full payment. Okay, so try as much as you can to lock down this. Okay, and now the way the class goes, so we have classes on weekends. Classes are on weekends. Okay, we have live classes on Saturdays, and then on Sundays we have what we call watch me do it videos, which is at your own pace. So we have the morning session, so which is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, for the evening, guys, we have 6 p.m. down to 9 p.m. So this is West African time. Okay, I'm currently UK, they're actually using same time zone right now with what? Okay, so it's the same time. Okay, for those ones that are actually using a different time zone, okay, you're in Canada, you're in North America, right? So it's going to be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, and like I mentioned, so you have your what we do it videos, where this what we do it videos is well broken down. Okay, we make it as simple as possible so that you can actually grab the concept. Okay, so live classes on Saturdays, and then you have your watch me do it videos on Sundays. Okay, so please let me confirm that you guys are still here. Let me confirm we are still here before I quickly go through the Google Classroom, and then we call it a day. So let me quickly walk us through our Google Classroom. You actually see what the class looks like, what people actually do in class. Okay, so let's just go over to the classroom. Just 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. All right. So these are the different cohorts going on. So we have the March cohort that just started like a few weeks ago. So let me just quickly go through so you see what they have done so far. Okay, so the way our class is, right, you have to be in the Google Classroom, and everything is well structured. Everything is well stated for you so that you don't get lost at any point. Okay, so we have everything in topics arranged accordingly. And like I said earlier, you have a lifetime access to what you have in the Google Classroom. So far as your email is still working, or your Gmail rather is still working, you have full-time access to everything you have in the Google Classroom. Okay, so first we have what we call the important materials, right? So here, like I mentioned earlier, we have what we call the job application tracker. So when you apply for jobs, okay, you come in here and then you update it, so we know you're applying for jobs, and then we know where to help you. This is interview preparation schedule. So by the time you land a job, okay, you come here, and then you by the time you land an interview rather, you come here and then you tell us, okay, I've landed an interview, and then my interview prep is so and so, my interview is on so and so day. We help you, we prep you. Okay, and then we have an additional material here. Okay, so everything is well structured. Okay, so teaching you the different shortcuts in Excel and the rest of them. So let me go down to the very first thing. Okay, so the very first thing, we have the onboarding material. So you have everything, how you can download. So like I mentioned, our program is beginner friendly. You don't know anything about it, it's totally fine. We pick you from the scratch. So we show you how you can download those different softwares you are going to be using for the class. Okay, this is how to install an Anaconda, Postgre, and the rest of them. Okay, so let me go through my recording. So this is the first class they had, introductory class, and then this is the login details. This is the material they use for the class, and then this is the recording. Like I mentioned, everything is recorded. So let me see if we can go through this a bit. I'm not sure. I hope we can go through that. So you just see a brief. Okay, so this is one of our amazing facilitators. So this is Ibrahim, the lead for data science team. Okay, network might not really allow us go through. So all the classes are actually recorded. Okay, and then you have lifetime access to all of them. Okay, so and then we have the mentorship session I mentioned. So your mentorship session. So this is the body mentorship session, and then this is the recording. Okay, so even if busy schedules doesn't allow you to join, okay, you can actually use the recording to actually catch up with what you missed out. So like I mentioned, everything is well packaged. Analytics got you covered at every point. Okay, so all you just have to do is lock down your spots. Like I mentioned earlier, it is limited. So we just have like we have a few spots left. Okay, so please try as much as you can to log down. How do you register? Just click on the link my colleagues are sharing. Okay, and then you take it down to the main stack page. You go over to the women's discounts page. You click on that and you make your payment. Like I said, it's a one-time full payment, and we have limited slots. Now I'm sounding this, even though this slot is actually mostly for the women, but the men, since it is limited, okay, try as much as you can to lock down your spot. We have like 15 slots left for the women, and then we have just 8 for the men. Okay, try as much as you can to lock down this. Okay, so at any point where you still need clarity on the course, you're still trying to understand what they do. Okay, so we always have one-on-one sessions, okay, on Tuesdays and then on Thursday. So all you just have to do, ensure that you fill that attendance form so that you get the updates. So you come on that one-on-one session, it's totally free, and then we give you clarifications on what you need. But first thing first, you have to lock down your own spot, because immediately the spots are full, you are going to be paying the full course price. Okay, and I would love all of us on the call to actually ensure that we take charge of this and then make use of this discount. Okay, so let me know, do we have further questions? Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions before we call it a night? Sorry, we've taken a lot of your time already. We promised 2 hours and we've already spent like extra 24 minutes. Sorry about that. So let me get, do we have any questions? So if you have a question, you can use the raise hand icon, and then we are going to take your question. Do we have any question? Do we have any question? Do we have any question? Okay, so our silence means we do not have a question. Okay, so let me just go through a bit of some few testimonies, and then we call it a night. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, so please try as much as you can to lock down your discount. Like I mentioned earlier, it's very important, okay? Because immediately these slots are filled up, you are going to be paying the full payment. All right, so I've not seen anybody's hand raised, so that means we do not have any question. Does that mean we are good to go? We didn't have any concerns, we didn't have any questions. Okay, so like I mentioned, since we don't have a question, we are going to take one testimony from a participant. Like I mentioned, seeing is believing, right? You guys, you always want to see and then you always want to hear. Okay, so we have our current participants on the call, okay, that want to share his experience. So so you actually hear from the horse's mouth. Hello, Owele.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good evening. Would it be possible to turn on your camera? Let's see you. If it's not, it's totally fine. So can you just share your experience so far? You can tell us your cohort and your experience so far with analytics.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Owede Knechukwu. So I heard about analytics first of all from the former MD I used to work with. Because I told him I have a flair for data science. I did computer science in university. I had a flair for data science. He told me I should check these people out. I checked them out. I paid for it. November cohort 2023. Then I started my journey. So when I started in November, then I was still a bit confused on what exactly the package was for me. But I was like, okay, I was just going to do it to the end. So at the beginning, analytics would bring you close. They will make you feel like analytics is not just a course, it's more like a family. One, first off. Then the way the course was partitioned was extremely excellent. They had watch me do videos that would teach you everything, no matter your course or your level, your age. or your sorry, or your sorry, excuse me for my cough, or your stage in life. It teaches you everything you need to know. So the what we do video is about, it depends on the topic. It's about, let's say, 5 to 6 videos in a week where you have to dedicate 1 to 2 hours that will teach you everything that has to do with that particular topic. It starts from statistics to Excel to Tableau down to SQL to Python and to machine learning. Then after the most video, you have your sorry. After the what we do videos, you have your mentorship sessions which come up on Thursdays. Now that session it is very important. I would advise nobody to miss it for anything whatsoever. Because with that session, I was able to bag my first job 1 month into analytics. So
Wow.
I had done analytics. I started my session started from November 8th. As of November 31st, I applied for a job as an energy analyst in Reno. I'm currently a lead energy analyst in Reno at Lekki here in Nigeria. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So I was given an Excel task to do. And the task was basically like the second week of Excel's work in analytics, where I was just had to create a table, clean the data. Now, the data here had to do with PMS and downstream data. Then clean the data and streamline them down to pivot tables. So basically, for my job right now, all I use is Excel and Tableau, meaning that the Python and machine learning I learned were just add-ons for me. Then, what else? I would love to tell every one of you that it is going to be worth of your money. But you will need to be very resilient, determined, and open-minded. No matter your stack, no matter your phase in life, all you need is 5 months of open-mindedness, determination, and resilience. I will not make this too long because it is way past the time. But if you want to become something in tech space, then analytics is the person for you. They will teach you everything you need to know. Like, I have not gotten into the intensive session, but because of the project we worked in Tableau and Excel, where we grouped into teams, I already knew how to work with teams and how to work as a team, basically. So, long story short, analytics is the one for you. Does anyone have any questions?
All right. Thank you very much, Awale. I really, really appreciate. Okay, so guys, you can hear from the horse's mouth, right? So few weeks into the program, he was already able to land his first job. And imagine what you use Excel and Tableau. So I mentioned it earlier, right? So the way analytics prep you. So immediately you start learning, you're done with the first class, okay, the first program like Excel. We encourage you start applying for jobs because you don't know that Excel you learned can land you a job, okay? Tableau you learned can land you a job. So, and just as what you've heard this evening, right? You just use Excel and Tableau, and then he landed his first job. Okay, that sounds very interesting, right? So, guys, log on to this opportunity, okay? The 50% discount, okay? It's limited, right? It's limited to just 40 women, and as a matter of fact, we don't even have a lot left. Okay, so 25 women has already locked down their spots. 2 men has already locked down their spots. So currently, okay, we have just 8 spots for the men. Okay, so try as much as you can lock this discount. Okay, so let's just take one person's question. His hand is raised before we call it a night. Okay. Eudora,
Hi
please.
everyone. Yeah,
Yes,
can
please go
you
ahead.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you for the good job you have been doing so far. So I've been following, and it's quite entertaining and educative at the same time. A brief one. I want to ask concerning this discount that is going on right now. I've already paid tax payment because I want to start with this April 6th cohort. I want to train on cyber security.
Okay.
So I've already paid £200 because I'm in UK presently. So I hope I'm still benefiting from it because I'm to balance £113 at the end of April.
Okay, so let me get. When did you make the first payment?
I made the payment. Today is Friday. I made the payment about 3 or 4 days ago.
3 or 4 days ago. Okay. Since you made the payment, so 3 or 4 days ago, you have to ensure that you complete the payment before the program starts. You have to complete the program.
According to what I saw, that I have to complete the payments 1 month into the program.
Okay. So that is for those ones that are not actually using this discount. Okay, so I mentioned that that is the way we usually run it, right? If you are making your full payment, okay, or if you are making full payments normally. But for this particular discount, for this 50% scholarship running, you have to make your full payment so that you can be a partaker of it. So it's just a one-time payment. But then we get.
Okay. So
But yeah, if you still have further questions, okay, so we have the one-on-one session. You can attend it and ask for that question, so we do not waste people's time on the call. Okay, and then you can still send an email to Analytics@inquiries, and then we are going to answer your questions concerning that. I don't know if you are good.
That was okay.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Do we have further questions? Because this is where we are going to be drawing the curtain for the night. Okay, so if you had fun, if you enjoyed yourself in this session, please can I see a 1 in the chat? And if you know I am going to be seeing you on the 6th of April, can I see a 1 in the chat? I'm going to be seeing you on the 6th of April. Let me see a 1 in the chat. Okay, so please, if you're among those persons that are really interested to tap into this discount, try as much as you can to make your payment as soon as possible, okay, so that you are going to log on to this discount. It is a limited slot. Like I said earlier, it is very, very, very limited. Try as much as you can, okay, to make the payment and secure your slot. All you just have to do is use the link, okay, dropped in the chat, the main stack link, and then make your payment. All right, guys, so this is where we are going to be calling it a night. Hope to see you on the 6th of April. Have a lovely evening, everyone. And thank you very much for spending your Friday night with Analytics. I hope you actually got a lot of value from it. I hope you got something from the session. Have a lovely evening, everyone, and see you on the 6th. Nobody's saying anything. Please, guys, let me drop something on the chat. Let me know. Okay, so drop something on the chat. Let me know. You could say bye, but people don't want to even say hello to me. Don't want to say bye or something. All right, guys. So have a lovely evening.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.